Yo, what's going on, Philadelphia Eagles fans? It's your boy Philly Day One, and we are still on the hunt for offensive coordinator. We just interviewed Zach Robinson from the Atlanta Falcons, the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on it later, but we interviewed him today. We interviewed Charlie West Jr. yesterday. Well, I got the news about it yesterday. Outside of that, I don't think we had any more interviews outside of those guys. A lot of people seem to be very high on Cliff Kingsbury. He was the offensive coordinator for the Commanders, and I mean, I don't know. I hadn't really looked at them. All I know of is what they did of last year, and it was kind of nice what they did last year. They was able to put up a lot of points last year. When they played really good teams, they didn't put up so many points. So I have to look at that. We're going to go down the list on some of these offensive coordinators, man. Some of these guys are like pass game coordinators, and they ain't calling no plays. We just had issues with play calling. You know what I'm saying? More so than the offense that we were running, it's the play calling that we have a bigger issue with. And some of these guys, the Nate Schooling Hines, whatever his name is, Davis Webb, the Broncos quarterback coach, these guys ain't called no plays. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking whoever we get in here, whether it's a college guy coming in or some guy who was a head coach, or with somebody with some some offensive coordinator experience. That's all I'm looking for offensive coordinator experience. That means you have called plays. And I have a favorite out of all of this, and we're gonna get to it. So let's talk about it. Say I done fell many times, but I got back up. I've been drugged through the mud, like it ain't been enough. I'm still going, 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 still going. Then I done felt so much pain, but I wanna give up. But I can't stop now, cause I've been through too much. I'm still going, 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 still going. First off, let's get into the interview of today. The interview of today was Zach Robinson from the Atlanta Falcons, the OC from the Atlanta Falcons. One of the things I heard about him, that he is very predictable in him calling plays. He's very predictable. We just got away from that with Kevin Patula and the predictability and stuff like that. He's not really creative. He's predictable in his play calling. We just got away from that. Now, I'm not sure. I didn't dive into him completely, but he had 1 year with the Atlanta Falcons, and then he had this year with the Atlanta Falcons. So he's had time to adapt a little bit. And you've seen really good games from him, but then you've seen bad games from him. So I'm not sold on that one. I don't want to get into that one really. I know a lot of people talk about the Cliff Kingsbury thing. I'm not really sold on that either. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when they play good teams, Philadelphia Eagles, was it the Baltimore Rams? The Ravens. I think they played really good teams with defenses, and they struggled. So they had good pieces too. It was Jaden Daniels, and they had good pieces, and they struggled. I don't know how much of that was on the offensive offensive coordinator, but I didn't see anything genius-like about them when they were doing things, when they were running the offense, when he was on offense. Here's a name that I think all Eagle fans will remember. Mike Kafka was a Giants OC. It was a Giants OC, I think, last year. He got fired with Brian Daboll, and he was the OC. Mike Kafka was a Philadelphia Eagle. He played, I want to say, 2 years with us as a backup quarterback. I have to go look at some of those games that the Giants had and kind of see how he called those games to kind of get a real good feel for it. But because he was an Eagle, I gravitated to it because I knew him as an Eagle. But my favorite offensive coordinator that we are looking to pick up is not McDaniels. It's not McDaniels. It's Charlie West Jr. Charlie West Jr., I think they're going to give him, like, they're going to say he's the Ole Miss head offensive coordinator. Ole Miss when they had Jackson Dart. But he's currently with LSU. And even with LSU, man, those guys, now they ain't juggernauts by no means. But if you look at the talent in which he has down at LSU, what he able to do with that team is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. They don't turn the ball over, which that's how we play the game anyway. They don't turn the ball over. You know, he had 2 guys go over 1,000 yards, so he's very adaptable to the players. That's one of the things I read with him is that he's the strength of him is being able to adapt to the players' strengths. And that's what we need. You got an A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. We don't know if we're going to have Dallas Goedert. We will have Saquon Barkley, though. You have these 3 guys and Jalen Hurts, you're bound to do some great things with. And I know he just signed a contract for 3 years. I don't know. Last year, I think he just signed a contract for 3 years with LSU. So I don't know how that's going to work. I think it was like $3.5 million. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how that worked. But I went up and looked at that Ole Miss offense. It was ranked 8th in the nation. Now, the LSU offense ain't that good. But like I said, the talent that he got down in LSU, as far as offense is concerned, is very limited. Very limited. And he was able to do some pretty good stuff with LSU's limited talent. So I'm gonna get some tape. I'm gonna do a reaction. What I am gonna do is recent stuff. I won't even go back to the old. I will. I'll do a little Ole Miss stuff. I'll do a reaction to the Ole Miss games, and then I will do a reaction to his LSU games. Now I'm probably gonna do a reaction to maybe one Ole Miss game, and maybe a reaction to a couple LSU games, just to kind of show you what I mean. There's nothing down there LSU offensively, but I think he's down there with, who is he down there with? Not Cliff Kingsbury, but dang, I just had it. But he's down there with somebody we know of. Anyway, I will be doing those, man. If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you rock with the content, man, hit that like button. Comment down below what y'all think. Who y'all hoping to get, man? This McDaniels pick ain't as great as y'all think it is. Who y'all hoping to get? And we out.